You're watching News9 Live with me, Neha, Khanna, and joining me now in the middle of his very hectic Kerala election campaign is Anil Antony, BJP candidate. Thank you so much, Anil, for joining me. It's clearly been a very hectic campaign for you.
Yeah, it's been over 6 weeks since I've been declared as a candidate here. I've been traveling from one end to the another of the constituency. There are 14 organizational constituencies here, 7 assembly constituencies. One end to the another is almost 150 kilometers. It's a very large constituency with a very difficult terrain also. So it's been a fairly interesting experience, but I'm very overwhelmed by the reception that people are giving me and the affection people are giving me. There is a distinct call for change in this constituency. So that is keeping me going. But it's been a very accelerating experience so far. And now we are entering the last 2 weeks of the campaign. Actually, from today, there are exactly 10 days left for the campaign to end and 12 days for the polling. So we are entering the final laps now.
That's great to know. I have a long list of questions for you, and I know that your time is limited. So let's go through these questions. Let's try and get in as many as we can. Anil, the question I want to ask you is that you're making your electoral debut. Now, we know that despite two massive mandates in the last two elections, the BJP has yet to win a single seat in the state of Kerala. How do you think you can help the BJP open its account in this state? Isn't it a tough election for you?
So, like you rightly said, of course, it is a challenge. What we are facing here is a challenge. But the Bharatiya Janata Party, the last 10 years we have been uh, putting new benchmarks in front of us, and we have been constantly delivering them also. Like, for example, in a lot of northeastern states, in Tripura, in Telangana, in West Bengal, many of these states, Assam, many states in 6, 7 years back, the party was not the party was not a strong force. The state of the organization was even less than what weaker than what we have in Kerala right. But in the last 6, 7 years, we have seen phenomenal growth in all these states. Now, the 8 northeastern states, 7 of them, the NDA is in power. Then Telangana, West Bengal, etc. West Bengal, we are a very solid second party now. We are contesting for government sooner than later. Telangana, we are seeing accelerating growth. And now, after our last win in Tripura, the Prime Minister himself said that our next targets are in the states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The central leadership is putting a lot of effort here. The last 4 months, this is a state without a single MLA or a single MP. But the and just this since the start of this year, the Prime Minister has come here 6 times. After the candidates were announced, and one day before the start of uh, the elections were declared, the PM came to my constituency in Pathanamthitta. The central leadership is putting a lot of effort here. Our organization is growing quite a lot. A lot of new people are joining the party. So this and last election itself, in out of the 20 constituencies, in around 4 or 5 of them, we had more than 20% vote share. Some of them we had more than 25% vote share. So this and we doubled our vote shares in almost every constituency in Kerala in the last election. So this time again we are expecting a similar trajectory. So this time we are expecting many number of seats. Last time we had double-digit vote share for the first time. This time we are strongly contesting in double-digit seats. So this time definitely you will see history in Kerala also.
This time will be different for the BJP in Kerala. Now, I have to ask you this, Anil. Your father, A.K. Antony, a Congress veteran, was quite unhappy with you quitting the Congress and joining the BJP. And recently he said, my son should lose the election. Were you taken aback by that statement?
Absolutely not. I had always said that there is a difference between politics and personal life. Like, of course, he's my father. It's a person who I have the highest of regard and respect for as a person. But his political beliefs and his politic are something which I don't agree with. The moment I left the party, I joined the BJP itself. I have said very clearly that the current Congress party is a party that is just standing for the well-being and interest of a family and not the nation or the people. And it's an ideology and it's a school of thought that the people of India has been constantly rejecting the last 10 years. So in 2014 and 2019, the Congress party were completely outrightly rejected by the people of India. and they had their lowest ever tallies in the last two elections in 2014 and 19. I'm sure you also know that in the parliament to even be a formal leader of opposition, you need 10% seats, which is around 55 seats. They projected Mr. Rahul Gandhi as a prime minister candidate, but the Congress party lost without even getting 10% seats. So the people of India were telling that forget being the prime minister. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not even fit to be a valid leader of opposition. This is what the people of India said. And now, considering, and this is the sentiment of not just me, but also crores and crores of people who are constantly voting for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party because they have absolute trust in our vision for India, and they have absolute, and they completely are again and again rejecting the Congress and what they stand for. And then when it comes to my particular constituency in Pathanamthitta, you have my political opponent, Mr. Antonys, 2 3 weeks back just for appeasing certain minorities. He had insulted India's army and he tried to whitewash the Pulwama terror attacks and Pakistan's role in the terror attack also. So, as a former defense minister, again coming to campaign and speaking for a person who tried to whitewash Pakistan's terror attacks, again it is a disappointment. So, like you said, like you asked, yes, he is my father. He is somebody who I admire and I have the deepest of respect for as a person. But his political school of thought is something which I and crores of Indians have rejected outrightly in the last 10 years. And it will be the similar scenario in this election also, where I can assure you that the Bharatiya Janata Party, led by the Prime Minister, will be getting more than 370 seats. Our coalition will be getting more than 400 seats. And the Congress party will once again be outrightly rejected by the people, where the leader Rahul Gandhi will once again be not getting enough seats to be an official leader of opposition in the House. So I have absolutely no disappointments here. I know that along with me there are crores of Indians who are standing, and I'm very happy where I am.
You were prepared. I have a lot of other questions for the Congress, which I'll come to in a moment. But if I could ask you one more personal question. Your mother has supported your decision, your father has
No, I
spoken
think
against you publicly. Do you think politics has divided your family? Is politics discussed at
no, no.
dinner?
I think there is enough of personal questions. Like they all have their own politics. Like I said, politics is politics. Personal. And my father's politics is something which has been outrightly rejected by crores of people in this country in the last 10 years, especially the youth. They don't approve the Congress politics. It is completely cut off from India's political, social, and economic consciousness. They have outrightly rejected Rahul Gandhi again and again the last 10 years. And it is set to continue. So I am absolutely happy and that I am working for the
Does the
Bharatiya Janata
family
Party.
discuss politics over dinner anymore, Anil?
Not at all. Even if we do, I keep on saying that the Congress politics is completely out of touch with ground realities, and it will be again and again.
I see. Okay, lots of questions. Let's come to Kerala now. Anil, you know that this controversial film, The Kerala Story, on so-called love jihad, has been a very polarizing issue in the state. The chief minister has called it a BJP conspiracy to tarnish the image of Kerala. But now Syrian Christian churches are screening this movie on the eve of the elections. Why do you think that is happening? Does it suggest that Syrian churches are aligning with the BJP on certain issues this time?
So, first of all, there had been a narration that was created by certain people that the Bharatiya Janata Party is anti-minority, etc. But that is not the situation. You look at Goa, you look at the northeastern states. These are all states where Christians are actually a large proportion, 30% plus. Some states they are even the majority. But every single of these states are actually governed by the Bharatiya Janata Party the NDA is governing each of these states. So the minorities also, especially the Christian population, have full trust in our Prime Minister and his vision.
Anil, if I may ask you, you believe it's a real issue. Many call it a bogey. But after the screening of the Kerala story by some churches, another church screened a documentary on the Manipur violence called The Cry of the Oppressed. I want to ask you, why are the Kerala churches so divided this time?
Love jihad anywhere in India. The first people who raised the issue of love jihad anywhere in India were two bishops in Kerala. The first case was for the first time filed in Kerala, in Pathanamthitta, and it was a DGP of Kerala then was a Christian, Mr. Jacob Punnus, who raised this issue for the first time anywhere in India as a law and order person. So, and now the opposition now, once people started seeing the Kerala story and once this got screened, they are trying to um, bring another movie as a counter. But the difference between these two is in Kerala, the Kerala story is something that is happening in Kerala, which a lot of people in Kerala resonate with. But you speak of Manipur, etc. Like I already said, you look at the northeastern states, there are 8 northeastern states there. 7 of the northeastern states are governed by the Bharatiya Janata Party or our ally, the NDA, with our ally. The NDA is in, even in Manipur, it is a BJP government there. All of Manipur's neighboring states, which are all Christian dominated states, again, the BJP is in we are in Gothenburg. And these are all Christian dominated states. And they have all chosen us to govern them because of the trust in us and because they don't buy this anti minority narration that our opposition is trying to create. And then in Kerala, then when that place and all the neighboring states, when they themselves don't believe this narration, then people are trying to create a narration in Kerala of something that is happening in the Northeast, which the Northeastern people itself reject outrightly. So these are two completely different scenarios.
There are many who perceive the Manipur violence to be anti-Christian in nature. We know that there is a very large segment of Christian population in Kerala. My question to you is, there are those who are saying the Manipur violence could drive the Christians away from the BJP in Kerala. How are you addressing the concerns of the community in Kerala?
So this is what our opposition has been hoping for a while, and they have been trying to create this narration in Kerala for a while that Manipur were a tribal issue, a drug issue. There are so many complexities there. Our political opponents are trying to make it into a religious issue. But the senior most cardinal in India, Cardinal Oswald, who is also the advisor to the Pope. So immediately after when this issue started becoming a huge misinformation campaign, he himself wrote a letter and he had issued an advisory to all the Christian brethren in India also, where he was very well explaining what the situation was, the complexities involved, and he was very clearly seeing that this is not a religious issue. And he was telling the Christian people to not listen to misinformation any longer. And this has been happening with most of the major church leaders also. So there is definitely an attempt to create a false narration among the people. But the learned and the wise among the community definitely understand what is happening. And they are telling the community members also not to fall for misinformation. And they have been telling realities as it is.
Okay.
So in Kerala also, I've been interacting with so many people across. I'm not interacting with just people of any particular religion. But when this is a constituency with almost 40% Christian population, I've been interacting with them quite a lot also. And definitely there is a lot of positive sentiments on the Prime Minister. There is a lot of goodwill for the Prime Minister. There is a lot of goodwill on the work we are doing across India the last 10 years. And the Christian community also, just like every other community, they are becoming because finally people want development, people want opportunities, people want progress. People don't want the status quo that is happening in Kerala for a long time, where the left and the Congress, they are coming alternatively, but the state is falling further and further behind. You look at my constituency, Pathanamthitta, it is a constituency with a lot of potential. But it's one of the rare constituencies in India which doesn't have any major industry of its own. There are 50 plus colleges, but after graduation, the young people, nobody is staying here because there are no opportunities. It's one of the constituencies without a single IT park, a single industrial park, a single startup incubator. So so young people here, they have zero opportunities. Then even other sections also, the farmers here are in distress. There is a definite lack of infrastructure development here. This entire district only got one railway station, which is still, you'd be surprised if you come here and see the state of it. It's still, it looks like a worn down place from the 80s. while across India we are building world-class infrastructure. So here also the main topic of conversation, the main topic during the election is what all development we can bring, what all progress we can bring, what all opportunities we can give to the people. And unfortunately, our opposition, just like everywhere else, they are trying to bring this religious angle because they don't have a narration, a counter for what we are offering the people, which is progress and they part towards being a developed India.
So
So
let me
you
ask
look at
you this. You're saying the opposition is bringing in a religion. It's a false narrative. The issue is development. But you mentioned that minorities, Christians and Muslims together constitute 46% of Kerala's population. The question is, how will the BJP win over the minorities this time? I just want to quote to you what the Prime Minister said a couple of days ago, that the Congress Party's manifesto reminds us of the Muslim League manifesto. Now, are you not concerned that may not go down well with the Muslims in Kerala?
no, because the Muslims in Kerala also then, despite the partition, they were nationalistic Muslims who stayed in India because they wanted to be a part of India. You look at Rahul Gandhi's current narration. He reminds me of the old people who wanted to divide India based on just caste and religion. Across India, he is traveling, and while Prime Minister Narendra Modi is talking about taking India forward, 140 crore Indians forward, and make India into a Vikasat Bharat, a developed India by 2047, the 100th year of our independence. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is traveling across India, and the only thing he talks about is a caste census, where he is trying to divide the India not just based on religion, but based on thousands of castes and create a conflict between them. So at one end, you have the Bharatiya Janata Party that wants to take everybody together at the same time. The other side, you have this so-called India Alliance, where its leaders are traveling across the country. They are trying to divide the people based on caste, or they are trying to create a narration where they want to polarize based on the minorities and the majority.
Let me ask you this question. You recently said that all those who are working for Sonia and Rahul Gandhi are like dogs who keep barking at the moon. Why so much anger against the Congress? What is
Oh,
your
that
take
is
on Rahul Gandhi's leadership? Do you believe Congress can
no, no.
still revive
I
its
already
youth?
have. I have already given a very clear view on what I think of the Gandhis and Rahul Gandhi. This is not my statement. Also, this is my statement, but this is completely out of context. I didn't say those who are working for
Okay.
Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka, Sonia Gandhi are like dogs barking at the moon. What I said is, again, this is completely out of context. What I said is the people who are working for Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi are cut off from India's realities. They are completely being rejected again and again by the people of India because the Congress Party acts like a family enterprise, while the Bharatiya Janata Party works for our nation and has a long-term vision to take India forward for the next 25 years. You have the
Mhm.
rudderless Congress Party, which is only existing to forward the interest of one family and one person, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And then I said that the same people, they are trying to throw muck at every single person. They are trying to divide the country based on caste and religion. And personally, there had been, I had received a lot of personal attacks and insults the last 1 year because I completely rejected this school of thought, which is something which crores of Indians across the world has done in the last 1 year also. And then I used a certain terminology, which is a very common terminology in Kerala, which essentially tells that, let's say, when when dogs bark at the moon, the dogs get nothing and nothing happens to the moon, which is exactly it's in Malayalam, which is what I was mentioning about the Congress people. Like you can keep barking at the moon, but nothing will happen to the moon, and the dogs get nothing also, which is a very common terminology in Malayalam. So it is being misrepresented, but those
I had
who
no
understand
intention of
facts understand.
misrepresenting you, I can assure you. But you don't believe Rahul Gandhi is fit to lead the Congress. What was your personal experience with Rahul Gandhi like when you
And
were
we
in?
already have spoken about it. Right now, we are in the middle of an election campaign, and I don't think I want to waste my time talking about Rahul Gandhi. We have better things to do. But
Okay.
we have one thing I can assuredly, I can tell with a lot of surety, is that just like the last 2 years, Mr. Rahul Gandhi will be outrightly rejected by the people of India for the third time. And as long as the Congress party is projecting this Mr. Rahul Gandhi in front of the people, the Congress party, unless the Congress party their um, um, change from being a party that is just centered around a family, and unless they start focusing on larger issues, public issues, and start working for the nation, like this is going to be a very irrelevant political party which is going to fade into oblivion. So this is my personal take.
It'll go into oblivion.
Now I need.
All right. On that note, Anil Antony, thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you and good luck with the campaign.